Hi, I'm Christie, the Motive Guide, and this is your guide to a Type 4. Maybe you have taken Enneagram assessment and it said that you're a Type 4, or you know for sure you're a Type 4, or maybe you have a friend or a family member that's a Type 4 and you just want to get to know a Type 4 better. Well, you've come to the right place, and I hope you find this video helpful and valuable. So the Type 4 goes by a couple different names. It goes by a lot of names. I'm just going to name a few. The first one is the individualist. They're also called the romantic. Sometimes people combine those and say the romantic individualist. They're also called the artist, and the introspective individualist is another one that I really like. So they're called the individualists because fours like to think of themselves as being unique and distinct from others. They don't like to conform to the ordinary, mundane patterns of the world. They're called the introspective individualists because they do want to find their true, authentic selves. Fours are really good about diving into self-awareness and learning about themselves. They can be really honest with themselves about their emotions and their past and, all the baggage and all the things that come with that. Fours are called the artist because they tend to be very creative. Now, this doesn't always mean they do get this stereotypical, artist, Type 4 is an artist, or, what kind of art or what do you do? But they're not always artistic like what we traditionally think of, but they do tend to be very creative and appreciate nature and see beauty in nature and the world around them. Fours are big time feelers. In fact, another name, I didn't even mention it, was the sensitive. And they're called that because they can feel all the emotions. And sometimes they can be so deep that it causes other people to not understand them. And this can contribute to them feeling even more distant and more separated from people. Type 4s are part of the feeling triad. So in the feeling triad, which there's going to be a whole nother video on that, but the feeling triad has types 2s, 3, and 4. And where type 2s are great at feeling other people's feelings, but they aren't good at feeling their own feelings. And type 3s, they can recognize their own feelings and the feelings of others, but they don't have time for that. So they push them to the back and they repress feelings. Well, type 4s, they're good at feeling all the feelings, and that's their part in the feeling triad. They're good at all the emotions. They recognize all the emotions and sometimes can become overwhelmed and even stuck in the emotions. Fours are the best number with dealing with sadness. Now, they have this special relationship, is what the way I describe it, with melancholy, where I don't want to be in that state and I'll do whatever I can to get other people out of that state. Fours are just connected to melancholy. They're okay with melancholy. They're good with being in that. And sometimes they even like to be in melancholy. But because of this connection to that, they are the best number with dealing with sadness, like I mentioned. So if a friend is going through a really sad situation, a type 4 is really good for emotional support because they can sit in that with their friend. They aren't going to come in and try to fix it and remedy it or pull that person out of it. They're just there for emotional support. So with the Enneagram, whether it's finding your main type or your dominant type or growing in your type, you always want to go back and start with the core motivations. And the core or the basic fear for a type 4 is they fear being inadequate, insignificant, defective or flawed. So oftentimes, because of these fears, it can cause the type 4 to feel uncomfortable or awkward in social settings, because they're thinking things like, I'm not sure if I fit in here. I might not be popular enough or artistic enough, or, whatever that group is. They feel like, wow, I don't have what it takes to fit in and for people to understand me. So they can be really uncomfortable in social settings. And sometimes the avoidance of the fears can cause a type 4 to retreat into themselves and into their imagination. And this is where that fantasizing or creating an ideal world can come in. So on the flip side of the fear is the desires, the thing that they're always chasing after and trying to achieve or accomplish or get. And for a 4, that is their desire is to be unique. They want to be special and they want to be authentic. Authenticity is very special and important to type 4s. They want to be authentic themselves, but they want and expect everyone else to be authentic as well. Type 4s, they are relational. They do want to have relationships in their lives, but they do want them to be deep relationships that are authentic, and they want to be appreciated for and loved for being special and unique in those relationships. So the core weakness for the type 4, it's also called the vice or the sin, is envy. Now, we touched a little bit on how they feel they're tragically flawed, like they're missing something in their life. And this is where that envy comes in. 4s can really get stuck comparing themselves with others and then envying them. And this is a little different from jealousy. It's not necessarily like, I want that house or I want that car. It could be a little bit, but it's more of a longing for the happiness that others have or that others appear to have, or it's wishing, I wish I was as talented as that person, or if I only had the experience as much as that person, or I wish I had opportunities. I could do so much if I had opportunities, and it always seems like these other people have opportunities where I don't. So that's kind of how envy plays a part in a type 4's life. Now, the longing that a type 4 is wanting to hear, the core message that their hearts long to hear is, you are seen and loved for who you are, special and unique. So if you know a type 4, be sure to relay that message one way or another. You are seen and loved for who you are, special and unique. And that really speaks a lot to a type 4's heart. Some great things about a type 4. They're awesome to have on teams. They bring a lot of introspection. They are honest and authentic. They're intuitive. They're creative. And remember, this isn't just artistic. This can be creative in lots of different forms. And they see beauty in the world around us, and they can remind us of the beauty in the world around us as well. Areas for growth for type 4s. Learn to recognize when you're fantasizing, when you're going into this imaginative mode and creating this imaginary world. Learn to recognize when you're doing that and really try hard to appreciate the things that you already have, the talents that you already have, the situations you're already in. Also, remember that feelings are not facts. Don't get stuck in that world of emotion. Work on navigating emotions and bringing them into balance. Another area for growth could be to set up positive routines and environments in your life, because this can help bring out even more creativity and support emotional health. Also, know that not everyone feels emotions as deeply as you, and that you know that already, right? But know that that doesn't mean that they don't necessarily care. They can still care, but just not demonstrate emotions as much as you. And lastly, remember that you are loved for who you are. You are special and you are unique. I know the fours that I know in my life, it's crazy. They want to be special and unique, and they are. It's amazing how they have special giftings, and they can be unique and creative and all of those things. So fours, remember that whether you're hearing that in your life or not. It's true. You are loved for being special and unique. Okay, so I hope this video has helped you to get to know a type 4 better. Type 4s, if you are wanting some help with growth in your life and want to know the Enneagram better, just contact me. We can do a deep dive into your type. I have 5 sessions that are all tailored to type 4s, and we talk about those core motivations. We talk about stressors and paths of growth and blind spots, and we talk about childhood messages and levels of health, and we go through all of that together to help you grow to the healthiest level that you can. Maybe after watching this video, you're like, yeah, I'm definitely not a type 4, but I'm not sure what type I am. Or maybe you're like, I kind of feel like that, but I feel like all these other types too. Well, the best thing for you is to do a typing session with me. We do a 1-hour typing session where we dive into core motivations of your top types, and we talk about that and figure it out together. As always, you can go to my website, themotiveguide.com. You can find my free assessment there. It's a great place to start. And you can also find out more information about the Enneagram and workshops, and you can contact me there at my website. All right, type 4s and friends of type 4s, thank you for watching this video. Until next time.